Alrighty, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be telling you guys what I love about my M3. So, without further ado, here is a list of 10 things I love about my E46 M3. So the first thing that you kind of have to talk about with the E46 M3 is the engine. The S54 engine that came in this car was an amazing engine and still is today. It makes quite a decent amount of power at around 333 brake horsepower. If you're in the States, if you're not in the States, you get a little bit more horsepower. So with that horsepower number, it's a very usable amount of power. And it's a very high-strung engine. So the red line is 8,000 RPM, and all of the power is way up top, which kind of forces you to drive this car like a race car, which is very, very cool and a very unique experience. The sound is another thing that a lot of people either love or hate. Personally, I love it. I think the raspy sound that comes out of even the stock exhaust is a very different sound than you'll hear in most sports cars. I don't know, I really like the uniqueness of this engine and exhaust and just the whole experience of it. It's very nice. So number 2 on the list is styling. I personally think the styling of this car is the best that they ever did with the M3. I think when we look back at all the different generations, I think this one will be the most timeless. And it's also got some cues that kind of were carried on in the following M3s, such as the side grills, the quad-tipped exhaust, and the flared fender arches. So that's very cool. So the third thing on my list is something that you may not think of initially, but that's why we're doing this video, right? So number 3 on my list is the pedal box. The pedal box in this car is very good. With a lot of the things that they did with this car, they didn't sacrifice comfort for sportiness. So a lot of the tactile points in the car are very comfortable and very livable. And the pedal box is no exception. The pedals are perfectly spaced if you are one of those people that really likes to rev match and heel toe downshift, things like that. It's very good for that, and it's very comfortable to do it with. The only thing I wish I had the metal pedals in this car. That's one thing I did not get. I have the rubber pedals, but that'll be coming soon, a metal pedal install. So number 4 on my list is the sport mode in this car. So the sport mode as well as the traction control buttons in this car are just an on and off switch. So I'll give you a demonstration here. Let's go into 5th gear. I'm not giving this car any more throttle. All I'm doing is pushing the sport button, and we get an instant kind of kick of power. And when you're driving this car with the sport mode on, it really, really comes alive. It's really easy to get high up in the rev range. And I actually don't drive it like this a lot. When I'm driving sporty or on a back road or something, I will tend to play with the sport button a little bit. I'll turn it on and off just so I can feel the differences. And it is really rewarding when you have the sport mode on. That's one thing that I think got kind of lost in the following generations of the M3 was there's way too many options on suspension stiffness and Sport Plus and Sport Plus Plus and all of that. It's just too much, I think. I really like the on-off switch nature of this car. So number 5 on the list is something that I think is very cool. And it's a way that BMW kind of pushed the technology from back in 2002. And that is the mirrors. So when you're in reverse, the passenger side mirror actually folds down so that you can see where you're driving. And I think that's really cool. That's a really cool way for BMW to kind of push the technology forward. And that's kind of what led us to our backup camera technology. So definitely kudos to BMW for pushing the technology forward. 6 is another very cool one. That's the factory head unit. Not all of these cars came with the head units because you have to get the nav package to get it. But this car has it, and it's very cool. It actually shows you a lot of readouts such as altitude, outdoor temperature. It'll show you pretty much everything you need to know. It'll even show you your longitude and latitude, which kind of makes you feel like you're in a plane. And that's a pretty interesting experience. Also, if you want to play with a cassette, you have the option to hit the eject button and the whole screen folds away and it gives you access to a cassette player, and that is very cool. And it also hides the cassette player while it's being used, so you don't even get to see that ugly sort of box there, which is very cool. Number 7 on my list are the stock seats in the car. So actually this car has the electric adjustable seats, but they're very, very nice. They also came with a manual version, which a lot of people prefer because they are a little bit lighter. But I have the electric adjustable seats, and they're very comfortable. They have adjustable lumbar support, adjustable bolstering, which is very interesting. And it's also obviously that kind of 12 or 16 point adjustment, up, down, left, right, front, back, all that sort of stuff. But they're very comfortable seats, and I really enjoy them. I will probably end up getting bucket seats at some point, but I don't think I'm going to get rid of these seats, because if I ever sell the car, somebody may actually want the adjustability of these. Number 8 on the list is the steering wheel. I love this steering wheel. It's awesome. I love the 3-spoke design. I love how the buttons are integrated. There aren't too many buttons, and they're kind of molded to the shape of the steering wheel, which looks very clean. And also, I love the thick outer rim of the steering wheel with the M stitching. It just feels very good. It gives you a lot of road input into your hands, and it also looks really cool to have the M stitching in there. So the steering wheel design, I think, is great. So number 9 on my list is one of the top reasons that I bought this car, and that is the community behind it. So if you're looking at the production numbers on just the M3, they made about 80,000 of these E46 M3s, and that's just the M3 model. So there are countless E46s out there, which in turn generates a huge following, a huge forum base. So you've always got somebody there that knows what you're going through, that knows any problems that you'll have. And just in my own city, it's really cool to see all of the E46 M3 owners, as well as just regular E46 owners that are all in town. All right, the final thing on my list. I might catch some flack for it, but that's okay, because this is my video, this is my channel, and I get to talk about what I want. So number 10 on my list is the stock ride height. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. Why do you like the stock ride height? The car sits way too high out of the factory. Yes, I know the car sits very high from the factory, but even though it does look better lowered, I will give you that, I've never bottomed out on anything, and the suspension travel is still fine. It still feels very good, very dialed in, even though this car is 17 years old now. So I have to give it to BMW for creating a very long-lasting, durable suspension that does not make you bottom out on stuff. It's not super aggressive, so it makes the car very livable. Granted, I am going to be lowering the car. I'm going to be putting it on coilovers eventually. But that being said, I have enjoyed the stock ride height while I've had it. So guys, that's all I have for today's video on 10 things I love about my car. There will be a 10 things I hate about my car coming soon, because every car has its flaws. But until then, go check out all my other content, because I post weekly automotive videos, and if you want to, you can actually support the channel as well, not only by subscribing, but by going to the driver's side store and purchasing an Enjoy the Road shirt. We have them in the M colors as well as in just black and white. So if you guys want to do that, you can support the channel that way. Other than that, subscribe to the channel, check out the other content, and I'll see you guys in the next one. As always, enjoy the road.